Okay, guys, let's get started. 同学好，我们开始上课哦。So, just like what I mentioned before, for today I will use around 1 hour to do the introduction of this class. And after that, you are free to go. But if you have any other questions about the class, well, you can ask me. I will still stay here for a while. Alright? So, the name of this class is Computer Aided Design Semester 2. So right here, since we are in the fourth semester of the Computer Aided Design class series, so we are going to do some more specific topic research. So here is the schedule for today. First things, I won't do the logo. After all, we haven't finished the drop out and drop in procedures for the school, so I won't do the logo for today. So I will do the class introduction for you guys and also share some important online resources with you. And there are some important reminder about the class, probably something like the role of the class, or the attendance, or probably how you will be grading, etc. And I guess I don't have to do the self-introduction, so I will just make a very brief one for the exchange student if you want to choose this class. So that's the whole schedule for today. Okay. So for this class, we are going to do some more specific topic about the CGI technique. So for this class, the first things we are going to do is to understand the artistic anatomy, the 应用解剖学啊. That will be the major topic for this semester, and we will spend probably around 3 weeks or 4 weeks and to let you guys go through the artistic anatomy and using this idea, using this understanding to make a 3D character model. So that will be the first part. And second thing about the technical part, we will working on the digital sculpting, right? This one, and the PBR texture actually is like painting, texture painting. So I would say the technical part is not that hard at all, right? The technical part actually is not that hard at all. It depends on your manual techniques. If you are good in drawing, probably you can do that pretty good. But if you are not, then we can use something more systematic way to teach you to know that part. And final things, we will do some typology and make your model become a relative low poly model. And if we have time, I will do rigging. I will do a quick rigging for your character. And finally, make an environment modeling and probably do some lighting setting for that. So based on this procedure, based on this process, in the end of the semester, we are going to finish a high detail 3D character model. That's the things we are going to do, major topic for these semesters. Okay? 同学，这大概就是我们这学期的这堂课的整个流程哦。那其实讲真的，我觉得它的技术面，就是尤其是电脑技术面含量没有很高。但是对于可能美学啊、绘画的一些基础啊，或者说解剖学的一些了解，它会比较需要有这方面的一些认知啦。所以那个地方可能真的就是需要靠你们之前累积下来的一些能力了。Alright, so that's it. That's about the topic for this class. Let's keep moving forward. So I think you already see this map before. That's the 4 computer aided design class that I have taught in this school. So for the first semester, right, about rhinoceros, basically it's more for product design and fabrication. So the modern technique has to be more precise compared to the other software. And the second semester is the basic Blender tutorial. So through this semester, you know how to do the basic modeling and also basic animations. Third semester, unfortunately, I think right now is only open for the international student. So that one, well, it will be more intermediate level about how to use in Blender to do the animation production. Probably like how to do the rigging, how to do the constraint and driver, how to do the physical simulation and the particle system, that kind of stuff. So after this semester, after the training of this semester, you will know how to make animation, a 3D animation, fairly okay 3D animations. So now we are here. That's the topic for this semester is about digital sculpting. So to be honest, it's something more advanced and artistic level. So more specific for modeling, for detail modeling. So for this one, it's more like a special topic for inside this series. That's the things we are going to do. But still, I will use in some technique or probably help you to review some technique we have told before, like the rigging part or maybe some post-production part, that kind of stuff. So that's the things we'll do for this semester. Okay? 同学，我想这个你们大家都看过了，大概就是第一学期是比较标准的电脑辅助设计，就是像是工业设计的建筑设计一样的那种做法。那第二学期的话呢，大概就是 Blender 的基础教学。第三学期你们大概没有碰到，因为现在好像它还是偏国际生专班的课程，那就是比较完整的一个动画制作流程啊。那现在的话，我们在这边那就是专注在数位雕塑这一块。Okay, so that's the class map for this fourth semester, from your first semester in your first year and until now, the second semester in your second year. Okay, so we have many different goals. I have set many learning objectives for you guys. First things, that will be more about the software learning. For the software learning for this class, actually, I would say it's pretty not easy, but it's not that hard at all. So we are going to using two software for this class. One is 3dcoat. Another one still your best friend in 3D modeling, Blender. So we are going to using 3dcoat and Blender to do sculpting and modeling. Okay, these two, they will co-work together. And then I hope you guys can understand the differences between voxel sculpting and surface sculpting, right? There are two different modeling ways, and usually you will see the voxel modeling only in 3dcoat. For the other, they're just using the idea of voxel modeling. They are not real voxel modeling. Okay, so for 3dcoat, we will do some voxel modeling inside 3dcoat, and we will do surface modeling, surface sculpting modeling inside Blender. Okay, so that's the things we're going to do. 同学，我们这学期大概会有两种比较主要的建模模式哦，一种就是体素，就是 voxel 的建模，它其实有点像 Minecraft， 或者说有点像，如果你们有在做一些 用一些 clay model 的这种工具的话，那它就是 voxel。那 surface 的话，其实大概就是像 Blender 啊，或者是其实像 ZBrush， 他们大概都是使用了 surface 的技术，然后来做高密度、高精度的雕刻哦。那这两个稍微体感上或者说成果上会有一些差异性。Alright, so after you understand these two modes, and after we finish the practice, the project-based practice of these two different ways for modeling, then I think you will master these two different modeling software and also texture painting software. And we will use 3dcoat for texture painting. For now, even Blender has the texture painting tools, but I would say 3dcoat for me is still more easy to use. So I will teach you guys how to use 3dcoat to do the physical-based rendering in textures. Basically, it's a little bit similar to Photoshop. You have to paint on your model just like you are working on physical model painting. Something like that. So, 同学，我们大概会使用这两种软体，那主要会用 3dcoat 来进行材质的绘制。那它有点像 Photoshop， 那大概就是你要像在做模型一样，然后帮你的模型化妆，然后一层一层的涂上去你的材质，然后最后把它烘焙出来，那它就可以变成是给游戏或动画使用。So finally, once you finish the texture painting, and also once you finish your digital sculpting, then we will start to do the retypology and set up the scenes, set up the pose, and finish your model. So that's the whole process for this semester. And that will be about the technical part. Alright, let's keep moving forward. I think for this part, we can just ignore that. Pretty much the same. Learn the human anatomy and the proportion for character sculpting, and using Blender for sculpting, the raw sculpting, and using 3dcoat for detail sculpting, etc. 我们这个工作流程到时候我会再跟你们讲一下下，大概我们其实会在 Blender 里面先完成一些比较简单的低像素的低精度的模型，然后到 3dcoat 里面进行贴图或者说细节的绘制，这大概是我的构想，就是我们整个 pipeline 是这样，然后之后完成拓扑跟材质贴制以后才会再回到 Blender。 So here is the overall pipeline, a little bit complicated, but you can just listen it. And then once we start to work, I will remind you what's the working process. So the pipeline is just like this. Usually we will using Blender to finish the low poly model. Okay, we will using the Blender to finish the low poly model. Then to do the detail sculpting and texture paint inside 3dcoat. Once we finish that part, then we will bring them back to Blender and start to do the animated setting, rendering setting, etc. So that will be the whole process. Alright, so I think we can ignore this part. That's the overview for this semester. So you can just take a look. Alright, so now let's take a look about the rough schedules for the whole semester. From the week 1 to week 5, we will start to do the tutorial about 3dcoat. So please, after this class, go to download 3dcoat. It's free for 1 month, but after 1 month, you still can use that. But all the things you export will have a watermark. So that's the problem. If you don't want to have a watermark, you can do using the rent version. I think if you rent this one for 3 months or 8 months, it will take you around 800 new Taiwanese dollars. So fairly okay. I would recommend to do the second options. So here is the idea. Sorry for that. This is a Chinese version. I will use in English to explain that. First week we will release the topic and talk to you guys about what we are going to do, what kind of software you have to install, what's the working pipeline, the concept of the technical part, and what's the things you have to finish in the end of the semester. And from the second week, from the week 2 to week 5, we are start to do our first little project. So basically, it will be like a cyberpunk skull sculpting. Using Blender for low poly model, then go to 3dcoat to do the high detail modeling. Once you finish the modeling, we will start to paint. We will use in texture paint, vertex paint to finish the texture painting and back it to low poly model and rendering it inside 3dcoat or Blender. So that's the whole process for this semester. For the local student, I think you can just read the text on my slider, so I don't need to repeat that again. Okay, so again, we will from the weeks 6 week and the 9 weeks, still we can have more time to dealing with the detail part. For example, if you want to keep refining the detail of your sculpting, then we can use in some more advanced tool like the texture, like the alpha channel to do the sculpting and make the pattern, make the surface looks more realistic, etc. So finally, on week 9, I think that will be the midterm. That will be the midterm time. So you can, the things you have to give me is the cyberpunk status, just like the reference image I give to you guys. And if you don't want to do this kind of cyberpunk sculpture, it is okay. But I would say cyberpunk for me is relative easy because there are a lot of material or a lot of assets that we can use in order to enrich your model. 同学这边大概还是跟你们说明一下，就是原则上我们前半学期大概就是会来完成这个头雕。那这个头雕呢，大概就是会使用 3dcoat 的一些技术跟一些简单的 Blender 操作，然后来把它完成。如果你们不想要做这个科幻主题的头雕，那你们也可以选择自己想要做的主题。但是对我来讲，科幻主题会稍微简单一点，因为在 3dcoat 或 Blender 那样很多的素材你们可以使用，那大概操作起来不会那么麻烦。所以这个的话，你们就自己考量一下。那课堂上我还是会以这些为主还是会先以这几个主题为主。So 然后最后你们就是要完成一个360的 video. So for the midterm, you have to finish this digital sculpting model and finish the modeling, sculpting, and also the texturing. And finally, give me a 360-degree video case. So I will show you about the result of the midterm later. But just remember this one, you have to give me a 360-degree video for the midterm project. Let's keep moving forward. So for the next half semester, for the from the week 10 to week 18, we will start to do the human character modeling. So I want you guys start with Blender. That's using Blender sculpting tool to finish a basic figure. For that part, yeah, it do require some understanding about the human anatomy. Like I will tell you, okay, this part, this muscle named deltoid, and it's supposed to look like a triangle water drop shaped muscle, etc. So using this way to understanding the human character, human body in a 3D way. So we will spend around 2 weeks to 3 weeks to finish the body part, the basic body part. And for the armor and all the other clothes decoration, it will take around probably 2 weeks to 3 weeks to finish. And all these things still inside Blender. And after we finish that, then we can start to using 3dcoat to do the detail sculpting and texture painting. So that's the idea. Finish the basic part inside Blender and do the detail inside 3dcoat. After that, go back to Blender to finish everything, right? So that's the whole working process. So from week 15 to week 17, we will start to using Blender for rigging. I'm not so sure. Probably some of you have already learned how to do the rigging by yourself. So, but I will use it my way. Usually, I don't use that kind of auto rig or maybe any other plugin for rigging. I prefer to teach you guys how to start with nothing to everything. So including the basic armature, then go to the constraint driver, etc. But it takes time. So if we don't have that time, I will just give you a finished armature and you can do the rigging. Just follow my operations. So finally, make a pose, set the light, do some effect setting, and finish the rendering. So that will be the whole process. Just like the reference image. So do the texture painting, do the detail inside 3dcoat. Then bring it back to Blender right here. And finish the rendering, finish the light setting, etc. So that will be the idea. 同学大概会是这样子哦，就是前面的话，我们先在 Blender 完成基本的概论的模型，然后我们就到 3dcoat 里面去完成细节跟贴图的雕刻，然后最后呢，回到 Blender 里面去进行绑定啊、灯光的打光啊，然后等等各式各样的后置效果，然后把这个模型漂漂亮亮的给完成了。然后最后它就会是一个 animation ready 或是 game ready 的一个小模型了。Okay, so once you finish all this process, it will be game ready. Actually, it's not game ready. I would say it's an animation ready model. So because game is a little bit different from this process, but pretty much the same. So that's the whole thing. So for now, is there any questions? If you have questions, you can just raise your hand and I will try to answer you. 同学们，目前为止关于这学期的题目有没有什么疑问？ Any questions so far? For this semester, because there are a lot of local students, so I will switch between Chinese and English. Right? Majority still will be English. Probably around 70% or 80% in English. But 20% in Chinese, some key point or maybe some important reminder. I will say that in Chinese. 同学，我这个学期大概会这样，因为大部分很多在几乎80%-90%都是本地生，所以我有一部分会用中文，一部分用英文。那主要还是英文哦，大概至少80%以上。那大概只有20%会用中文，然后稍微去提点一下，就大概会是这样子。Okay, so if you don't have any other question, let's just keep moving forward. So that's the midterm project. I think that's the example I did on my class. So basically, you're going to finish a cyberpunk model just like this. Basically, there is nothing special for this one. Also, it looks complicated, but actually pretty simple. I just want you guys to get used to voxel modeling. Voxel modeling is very, very similar to clay model, to real physical clay model. Just imagine that you are going to use your mouse, your computer mouse, or your drawing panel to working on the clay. And it's not like that kind of polygon or NURBS modeling that you have to deal with the vertex and edge. The things you have to do for voxel modeling is really depends on your hand and manual techniques. So for this part, I will lead you guys go through how do you do the voxel modeling. Not really hard though, but really depends on your hand techniques. So after that, for the final, we are going to do a character. So for this character, we will start with the basic figures. So including the human models, from nothing to everything. So from the human model and the nails, probably the toys, the finger, all these kind of detailed human body elements. Then start to do the armor, the clothes, etc., that kind of things. If you have time, you can develop your own weapons or equipment, that kind of stuff. So finally, using 3dcoat to refine the detail and using 3dcoat to do the texture paint. If we have time, I really want you guys to buy to rent 3dcoat for 3 months because it will be better for you to do the typology. If you can, then we can do the manually one, but it will take some time. So anyway, once we finish the basic figure, then we can go to 3dcoat to do the detail sculpting and texturing. Finally, go back to Blender to do the rendering. So that's the process. 同学，这大概就是我们的期末跟期中跟期末。那期末的话，我们大概就是会从最基本的素体，那它会是一个比较偏向真实版的人物素体那大概就是让你们去了解一下人体的构造，然后这边可能有这个胸锁乳突肌啦，那边有三角肌啦，这边有肱二头肌啦，大概几个比较主要的大肌肉，我们必须要讲清楚。然后呢，之后把这边肌肉都弄完了以后，我们来做它的一些铠甲，这些都在 Blender 里面先把基本的素体给大概建制完成，丢到 3dcoat 里面开始去做一些细节的雕刻，包含是材质或者说表面上的纹理、纹路等等。最后完成以后，再回来 Blender， 我们把它给摆置好、配置好、绑定好，然后让它能够完成渲染。So 这个就是我们的期末作业Alright, so anyway, that's the whole process for the project, including the basic modeling and understanding the human anatomy. And I will tell you how many important pieces of the muscle you guys have to remember, like the deltoid or like the biceps, etc. There are many, not so many, but there are a few important muscles that you have to remember. So after that, then we will start to do the equipment sculpting and finally finish the detail rendering and also all the rest of things. So that's the whole process. I know that probably when you are working on your design class, usually this kind of thing is just like, okay, I just download it. I just go to Fab or I just go to the Unreal Epic Game Market to download it. But when you have to do that by yourself without any help, without any other access, well, that will be a different thing. So let's go to the ground and solid understanding about this technique. Then if you have to face that kind of situation, you have to do everything from nothing to everything. Well, still you have the ability to deal with that. Okay? 同学，我想这个东西其实对你们来讲大概也不会很少见，因为大部分像在设计专题，可以就直接可能去Epic Game Market 或者说去 Fab 直接去下载既有的 Game Ready 的素材来用。那但是你们总是会有遇到一定要客制化或者是自己从无到有全盘操作的时候，那希望到那个时候你们还是能够具有那个技能。所以大概就在这堂课稍微来练习看看。Alright, so that's the things. Let's keep moving forward. Okay, that's another reference work. It's not related to this project. It's just a dragon sculpting. Let's take a look. So for the final project, just like this. It's a 360-degree video, vertical video, and since we have to give me just like this, I don't accept it. I was thinking about maybe I can do it. I usually so I prefer to Okay, that's it. So, finish game ready or animation ready model and realistic cinematic style. 同学，我们这堂课不做卡通式的 东西哦，因为大概这堂课大概就是比较，我们就说是欧美风格吧，所以大家会希望你们尽可能的往比较真实的比例，然后真实的质感去尝试看看了。As for this class, we don't do that kind of cartoon or comic style. I hope that you can just go for something more realistic, cinematic style. And for that, to do that, you can have a better chance to practice your understanding about human anatomy. Okay, so that's it. That's the finals for this semester. Okay, so about the teaching method, basically, I think for most of you have already taken my class before. So let me introduce that again because some of you probably that you are the exchange student, so you don't understand what we are going to do for the class. This is a practice class, so which means that after my demonstration, for every class I will do some demonstration, probably 10 minutes, 20 minutes. And after I finish my demonstration, you will have practice time, maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes for you to do the practice. Then after you finish your practice, I will keep my demonstration and lead you guys step by step to finish your project. That's the way I teach on this class. Okay? And the topic, just like what we mentioned before, is digital sculpting and advanced modeling. So we are going to do something more detailed and more realistic model. And for the project, it's individual project. So all of you, if you're choosing this class, then you have to finish your own work. And midterm and final, no written exam. So there's no questionnaire, no examination, but you have to give me your project. I will base on that to grading your semester and the final grades. 同学这边一样哦，大概你们应该都已经知道我们上课的方式，大概就是我会做一段示范，大概可能10分钟、20分钟，然后你们会有你们自己的练习跟操作时间。如果有问题，那就在那段时间里面提出，那我们会继续。结束以后，我们就会再继续这个 routine 这个流程。那这堂课的作品呢是个人作品，所以呢基本上没有团队作业，你们不管做得好或坏，都请你们把你们的东西给做出来哦。那我就会根据在你们的缴交作品上面去给你们评分，然后我们没有考试，但是就会依照你们的作品来进行评分。Okay, next part, another important rule for this class. So first thing is this class is a project based or let's say practice class. So you have to practice and you have to finish your semester project for your grades. And for the attendance part, I take the attendance very important, and I take the attendance very seriously. So no attendance update after 3:30 p.m., which means, yeah, you can come here a little bit later. Probably you don't have enough lunch time, so you will be late a little bit, less than 1 p.m. But don't be late after 1:30, okay? Don't be late after 1:30 because after 1:30 I won't do the roll call. And here is the things. If you want to do, probably you have to call for a sick leave, or you have some business, you have to call for a day off. Please follow the school regulation and apply the day off on the school system, and I will withdraw your absence. I don't do the roll call all the time, so please. For every time, if you want to do the sick leave or you have another business, please remember, just follow the school procedure, apply the day off on the school system, and also send the screenshot to me. Alright, so I think that's pretty much the whole thing. Okay, one more important thing I didn't mention here. For you guys, please don't be absent. Don't miss the class more than 6 times. Right? Don't miss the class more than 16 times because you can count. Usually we don't do the roll call for the first week and last week. So if you are absent for more than 6 times, it means you don't come to the school that often at all, and it's hard for you to follow the class progress, and also a little bit hard for me to grade you. So please do not miss more than 6 classes. Otherwise, there is a huge chance you may fail on this class. OK，so 同学这边稍微跟你们提醒一下，就是我的课程的规则，大家都是会希望你们，当然大学生难免都一定会有翘课，或者说必须要就是可能临时间也没有什么理由就不想来的情况，这个我大家能够理解。但请注意，就是不要超过6堂哦，6堂其实蛮夸张，几乎是1/3了。那基本上超过1/3，包含是学习的进度，然后还有评分的方式，对我来讲都会很难给你们评分，所以请尽量不要超过6堂。那超过6堂，那你大概就有很高的几率这堂课有可能会被当掉，就麻烦你们注意一下。Okay, so course cancellations for this semester. Because for this semester, as far as I remember, our school has some important event will be held on Wednesday. Probably your sports competitions or maybe some school celebration, etc. I'm not so sure. You can ask your PE teacher. So in that kind of situation, then the class will be cancelled. Okay, the class will be cancelled based on the school event. Just follow the rule of the school. And also, if you guys have some important department event, like the design course review or exception send-off, then also we can try to shift the class or switch that one into distance teaching. So it can depend on the different cases. And also for myself for this semester, well, that's good news for me, because my first child is about to be born on the beginning of the March. So probably around this week or around these 3 weeks, there will be some unexpected situation happen to me. So in that case, also probably I will do the course cancellation and switch the course to distance teaching or ask you guys to watching the online video. So that will be the things. Let me explain to you first. 同学这边也一样哦，大家跟你们讲一下，课程会调课或取消改成线上的情形哦。因为这学期我知道你们有运动会啦，好像大二可能没有强制要参加，但是可能还是会有学校停课的情形。那种情况我们当然就是跟着学校的规定走。那如果你们有一些可能包含是评图或是非常重要的可能design设计的一些展演的情形的话，那我们课程也可以视情况，然后稍微去做调整，或者说去调课。那最后是我自己的状况啦，因为这学期刚好在3月初的时候，我的小孩他可能在3月初是他的预产期啦，所以我自己可能会有一些比较没有办法预测的情形。那到时候我大概也会在教学群组里面跟你们讲一下，那个时候可能要转成线上，或者说变成是直接远距离的方式，或暂时停课这样子。那大概就是这几种情形，我会再跟你们在群组上面去做说明了。Alright, so here is the class rules and the class format for this semester. So far, is there any question for now? Any question for now? No? Okay, so if you don't have any other questions, let's keep moving forward. About grading, probably that will be the most important part for today. First thing is the regular performance. The regular performance. It will take around 35% of your semester grade. I take the attendance seriously. So make sure you are not absent for more than 6 times. And also class behavior such as talking loudly with your classmate or falling to sleeping or maybe play your own computer, etc. So that kind of thing, I don't want this happen on my class. For sure, just like what I said before, I can take like you guys have some freedom. If you want to discuss with your classmate, it's okay. And if you fall a little bit sleepy because you're so tired after the whole morning classes, you feel a little bit sleepy and take a nap, it's also okay. But please don't do that so often or don't do that too long. Okay? So if you feel asleep, maybe take a little nap, go to the toilet, wash your hand, and come back and keep working on your project. So that's the thing. The regular performance, it will take around 35%. And midterm performance, it means your cyberpunk skull sculpture, it will take you around 30% of your semester grade. And final performance, which means your character modeling, it will take around 35%. So here is the expected deadline for the project. But depends on the situation, depend on the school announcement. Probably this one will be shifted a little bit, but right now just remember this date. I think it's basically we will follow the things I write here to do to set up the deadline for the semester project. Okay, so that's the grading part. All right, for the online resources, please remember this one. First thing, join the Facebook teaching group. If you haven't joined that, please join that. Here is the Facebook teaching group. And for the rest of the part, for now, you don't have to remember that because you can find that on our Facebook teaching group. Let's take a look, okay? So here, sorry, not here. All right, so here is the Facebook, and let's go to our Facebook teaching group. It's a platform for all my classes in Taipei Tech. So for this class, if you want to find the information of this class, just go into this teaching group, and you can find the information of this class in two different sites. One side is here on the selection part. The name of this class is Computer Aided Design 02, so you can just click here and go to the photo album, and my whole slider has been posted here. And you can find the recording here. Oh, what happened to? Okay, you can find the class recording here. Also, you can find the resource of the class, the material we are going to use of the class right here. And the screen sharing link is also here, so you can take a look. Okay, so all the important things is right here on my teaching group. So first thing is make sure you have joined the teaching group. Okay, so let's keep moving forward. Join the Facebook teaching group first. Next thing, 3dcoat. Right now, 3dcoat, I think it has 1 month trial versions. You can use in this. You can use 3dcoat for free for 1 month. After that, you still can use that for learning purpose. But all the things you export and all the things you did will have a watermark on that. And also probably you cannot use that to do the typology. You cannot use that to do the exporting of the model, etc. So that will be the problem. So I would suggest you to buy 4 months trial of 3dcoat. It will take around 800 new Taiwanese dollars. That would be my suggestion. But if you don't want to do that, it's also okay. Up to you. After all, I cannot force you guys to do that. So anyway, you can scan this one and go to find 3dcoat and download the latest version of 3dcoat. And for 3dcoat, it has many different type of versions. Let's take a look. Okay, it's in Chinese, but I don't want it in Chinese. Alright, anyway. So for 3dcoat, it has many different type of versions. I want to go back to English, otherwise I don't recognize that. Here. Okay. So for 3dcoat, usually we just using 3dcoat, regular 3dcoat. So you can just download this one. Go to here and download that one. And you can also see that there are 3dcoat 3D printing or 3dcoat modeling, that kind of other versions. That's for specific purpose. Basically, it's pretty much just like 3dcoat, but it supports 3D printing or it supports for mesh modeling, etc. But for this time, you can just download the regular 3dcoat. That will be the one we are going to use. For me, I'm using 3dcoat 2023, and you can download the latest one, pretty much the same. But the user interface will be a little bit different. It's okay, but you can just download the latest one. Alright, let's keep moving forward. So please download this one, download the 3dcoat. You can just do the Google work. And I would suggest you please buy the 4 months trial so that you can go through the whole class without any limitation. 同学 3dcoat 有蛮多个版本的 那它大概有 3dcoat for 3D 打印 3dcoat for modeling， 还有很多什么 3dcoat for texture pen， 就是专门 for 材质绘制的。那我们的版本就使用一般的 3dcoat， 它大概就涵盖全部的功能了。那 3dcoat 的话呢，它现在大概试用期是1个月，1个月之后你还是能够使用它，但是你没有办法再把你的模型导出去，那你的贴图会有水印，会有浮水印了。所以如果想要完整的体验的话，那我会比较建议你们就是买个4个月左右的试用，大概会花800块钱左右了。那大概你就可以完整的操作，然后不需要有中间转换啊，或是一些其他搞来搞去的一些阵痛期。那但是如果你们不想要，那也没关系。那我们就是病人必须要完完全全的专注在 Blender 或是使用 3dcoat 的免费功能来完成你的专案。所以这边的话，请你们稍微注意一下。Okay, so that's the things. That's the tool about what we are going to use. For Blender part, I think there's no need for me to do the introduction. Most of you are very familiar with Blender. Just remember, for my class, I will using 4.2 Blender long-term supporting versions. I prefer to using LTS version rather than the latest versions. Okay, so here's the things. Some reminder for you guys. Since now we are working on some super heavy detail modeling, so about the basic requirement for your laptop, there are something you need to know. First thing, your laptop needs to have independent graphic card. It can be AMD or it can be NVIDIA. And for the physical memory, better to have at least 16 gigabyte RAM. Right? 16 gigabyte RAM is fairly okay. And if you have more, well, it will be better. 8 gigabyte will be a little bit hard to do this kind of thing. Okay? 8 gigabyte will be hard to do this kind of things. And also, while you are working on, no matter you are working on Blender or 3dcoat, please turn off other graphic software while you are using that, because it's pretty heavy. Just like Unreal. When you are working on Unreal, don't open up any other software. Okay, so finally, why 3dcoat? For me, 3dcoat, probably you will hear a lot of different type of sculpting software. The most famous one will be ZBrush, right? ZBrush one so far is still the best and also the most famous one. And so we have Moonbug from Autodesk. But why 3dcoat? First one, 3dcoat is fairly okay. I think the price is affordable even for students. Second thing, 3dcoat has sculpting function. Also, it has the texture painting function. Unlike ZBrush, it can only do the sculpting. 3dcoat can also do the texture painting, just like it combines the ZBrush and Substance Painter. So for me, I think it's pretty good in that part. And finally, Photoshop-like interface. The interface of the 3dcoat is pretty similar to Photoshop. So in that part, I think your learning curve can be shorter compared to other software. So that's the reason. Just take a look. Okay, I think that's the whole thing for today about what we are going to do for this semester and how you guys will be grading, and also some important reminder, some class rule for this class. So last part for this class, just remember to download the software, install that on your laptop. And for the next week, we will start to do our official tutorial. Okay? 同学，我们大概今天差不多就到这里了啊。那我大概就是很快的，大概跟你们讲解一下我们课堂到底要做些什么，然后呢，你们可能会怎么样被评分，然后以及我们课堂上的一些要求跟事项。那最后要请你们做的事情就是回家记得安装一下 Blender 跟 3dcoat， 这个是我们两个会使用的工具跟软体哦。那大概今天就到这边，如果你们没有其他问题的话，我想我大概就会停在这儿。Okay, sorry, I forget one more important thing about myself. For the local student, you already know me. And for the new student, probably you don't know who I am. I'm Chequan Zhang. You can just call me Mr. Zhang or just call me Zhang. It's okay. I am the faculty of the Interaction Design Department. So basically right now I'm in charge of that kind of computer graphics or CAD, etc. And if you have any other questions, you want to contact me, here is my website. And also, you can just directly contact me through Facebook once you join the Facebook teaching group. All right. So I think that's all. Right now it's around 2:07. If you don't have any other question, we can dismiss now.